Hello, my name is Genaro Jackson.
My name is Edward Palmer.
Welcome to Power Your Story, Season 7.
This season, our theme is hobby and life hacks.
My favorite life hack is basketball, like Chicago Bulls. So that's my favorite team. It has helped me relax.
Hello, it's Andrea, Klunder, Program Director for Power Your Story, bringing you a super fun interview from 2019 with one of the youngest podcasters we've ever met. Seb from the New York-based show Sebz World of Sports started his podcast in the 4th grade. At the time of the recording, he was getting ready for middle school, and of course, now in 2022, he's a little bit older. In our interview, you'll get to hear more about how he creates his show, his favorite sports and teams, and Seb even turns the tables at the end and asks our producers a question of his own. As a special bonus, you'll hear an update from Seb at the end of our original conversation. Check out sebzworldofsports.com, linked in the show notes, of course, in this episode description in your app. Enjoy the show.
Okay, Seb, welcome. I'm Edward Palmer. Welcome to Power Your Story podcast. Thank you for being here.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me on your show.
Okay. How long you been a podcaster?
Well, I've been podcasting for 1 year now, and it's my anniversary month. So I'm pretty happy about that.
Okay. How old were you when you started?
Well, I was 9 years old when I started podcasting, and I'm 10 years old right now.
Why did you want to make a sports podcast?
Well, it wasn't really that I wanted to make one, but my mom wanted that I started one so that I could get into a good middle school and so that I could do it for fun too.
Okay, last question. How did you learn to do it?
Well, my mom helped me podcast and she taught me all the things and all the things I needed to help me learn about podcasting.
Okay.
Hello, my name is D'Angelo Triplett.
Hi, D'Angelo.
It's nice to meet you. I just want to ask you a question. So, who works with you on your show?
Well, my mom helps me work on my podcast, and she also helps me edit the show, or she does all the editing herself.
That's it?
She's the only one that really helps me with my podcast.
What are your favorite sports to play?
My favorite sports to play are soccer, basketball, football, and baseball. I'm not that big of a hockey player or a hockey fan.
What are your favorite sports to watch?
I like to watch football, baseball, basketball, and soccer. Those are my favorite sports to watch, just like I like to play them.
Do you have any favorite NFL or NBA teams?
Well, my favorite NBA team are the Knicks, and my favorite NFL team is the Jets.
Do you ever been to any live games?
I've gone to a lot of Mets games, and I've gone to a Knicks game once, and I've gone to one Jets game before.
What is the best part that you go to live games?
The best part is just being there, and my favorite part about the games are when they're really close and everything is so close and you don't know what's going to happen next. And I also have season tickets to the Columbia Lions, and they play some close games too.
Well, it's really nice to meet you, Seb.
Nice to meet you too, D'Angelo.
Hello, Seb. My name is Genaro Jackson. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too, Genaro.
And I got some questions for you as well. Like, do you like to watch the Super Bowl?
I like to watch the Super Bowl, and I like the game. I don't really care that much for the halftime show.
Ooh. Why do you not like the halftime show?
Well, it's kind of a waste of time. The next day, I'm kind of tired.
Oh, okay. And what are your personal strengths as a sportscaster?
Well, my strengths as a sportscaster are knowing all the stats and remembering all the games that happen. And those are my strengths.
Okay. What is the hardest part of podcasting?
It's to remember my normal lines and what I have to say. It's pretty hard.
And what is the most fun part of making your show?
Well, the most fun part is, listening to it when it's done and when it's all done and out. It's very fun to see what I've produced or what I've made.
Okay. Nice to meet you, Seb.
Nice to meet you too, Genaro.
My name is Jonas Zacharias.
Hi, Jonas.
How does it feel to be famous as a podcaster?
It feels great. Well, I'm not that famous, but I like being a podcaster, and it feels great once you see your final product being out there, and it's pretty cool once you see it.
Very good. Who will be your dream to interview from any sport?
Well, if it were current, I'd probably interview LeBron James, but if it were in the past, I'd probably interview Michael Jordan because he's one of the best basketball players of all time.
Mm-hmm.
And he's the owner of a team, so that'd be good to ask him about too.
What other hobbies do you have?
One of my other hobbies is to collect sports cards like baseball cards and football cards.
How can people find out more about Sebz World of Sports?
You can find out more about my show by going to my website, sebzworldofsports.com, Sebz with a Z, or going to any podcast app and typing in my show, Sebz World of Sports, and then you'll find my show there. So those are the two ways you can find my show.
Good. This question is going to be a tough one. How can you dream big to become the next podcaster star?
Well, I just have to keep on doing my podcast, and I have to keep on producing my show. If I keep on producing, that's probably the only way that I'll be able to be a star, if I just keep on being consistent and putting out my show out there.
How does podcasting help into your favorite school?
It will help me get into my favorite school because they'll say, oh, this guy has done some extracurricular stuff, and I'll probably get some extra credit, and I'll probably be able to get into my favorite school more easily.
Okay, I am back. Do you have any advice for someone who wants to be a sports podcaster?
Well, my advice is when it's tough, you should just keep on going. Don't give up. And then when you see players or sports players and you interview them, don't be afraid. They won't bite you or anything. They won't do anything bad. So don't be afraid. Just ask them for an interview, and chances are they'll say yes.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Is anything else you would like to share with our listeners?
Do you have any tips for me to be a better podcaster?
Be confident and be yourself and be focused.
Brandon's over here. He said, don't be afraid to explore other topics too.
Other things that you may like.
Follow your dreams in your heart.
Be the best you, and don't let nobody bring you down.
Thank you for your advice, guys. Thank you for interviewing me.
Hi, Power Your Story team. Happy New Year 2022. Thank you so much for inviting me to give an update 2 years later. You've given me some questions, and I'm going to go ahead and answer them. The first question is, what's the latest update on Sebz World of Sports? And have you still been posting episodes? I posted a few episodes last year, not as many as I hoped. One main reason that I haven't posted that much this year was the traumatic brain injury, a TBI, or pretty much just a terrible concussion that I suffered in February. Made me go to the hospital for 8 days, and after that I had to do a lot of OT, occupational therapy, and a lot of PT, physical therapy, which didn't really give me much time, including that I had to go to school online and in school once a week. And now that I have to go back into school a lot, I feel like there wasn't much time. But I did give a talk at Podthon 21 about podcasting, and I have a couple of interviews lined up for my next couple of episodes. Funny how you ask if I got into the middle school that I wanted to. In fact, on the entrance exam essay, I mentioned my show, which I had been consistently producing so I could mention it. And because of that, I think I got in, even though that might not be why I got in. These days, I'm just focusing on how to interview athletes during Omicron. For the question, what's it like listening back to your former self? I think I've grown a lot as a person, and I think my voice sounds a bit older. But I don't know. What do you think? For the final question, which is anything else that you'd like to share, I'd like to share that I'm very appreciative that you took the time to let me answer these questions and be on your show. And if there are any other sports fans that listen to your show, can you please follow me and leave me a voice message at sebzworldofsports.com? And I'd like to know how I could share your show on my show. Also, if you are a sports fan, please let this be known that this is an open invitation for you to be a guest on my show. Once again, thank you for having me, and a Happy New Year.
Power Your Story podcast was produced by students at Ray Graham Training Center High School in Chicago with the support of After School Matters.
Our advisors are Miss Andrea Klunder and Edwin Ruiz at the Creator Impostor Studios.
We are on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube at Power Your Story Podcast.
Our website is poweryourstorypodcast.com.
Thank you for listening.
And be true to yourself.